Listen, they walk through fire, bodies weary, spirits tested. But from the ashes, they rose brighter. Two women, two warriors, and two women, two warriors, two stories stitched with love. Scars don't chain us down, they're maps of battles won. We rise together, stronger than before, turning pain to power, opening the door. Voices like a lighthouse, shining through the storm. The strength of a woman is to rise and rise once more. The world whispered, too hard, too heavy. They answered back, watch us. Even when the pain tried to break them, they move the mountains with love. Oh, we rise together, stronger than before, turning pain to power, opening the door. Voices like a lighthouse, shining.
Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Jarita.
Good day, you guys. Hi.
Guys, we've been talking about this special guest. I haven't really done much content about it, but we've been talking about this special guest for the last few days, and we're so excited to have you here, Sarah.
I'm
This is
excited to be here.
a great day. We're so excited about what we got going on. Remember,
Yes.
guys, this is all about just information. We're not doctors. We're not any kind of medical professional. We are just giving our journeys and the things that we've been through to help us with this. So just remember that. Always advocate for yourself, right? I know that's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Welcome back,
Yeah.
Warriors, to our another podcast of the Warriors Journey. We are so grateful you guys are here with us on this Monday evening. We are live Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central. Set your watches, your clocks, your alarms, all of the things. We are also on Facebook and YouTube and Clapper at the same time. So if you're on those opposing apps, you can find our links to the others in our bios. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell. As always, let this space ripple effect. I cannot wait to share with you the encouragement, the strength, and the learning how to move through our days with resilience here, no matter what your limitations and challenges are.
Yeah, definitely. Don't forget our YouTube channel, the Grit and Glitter YouTube channel, is officially up and running. We're running it on Restream. So if you are not on there, go subscribe over there. Give us a shout. Throw us out to everybody. We're trying to get the word out there. And yeah, we're trying to make that big ripple effect. I love the way Jarita always says that. She says, we're going to make that ripple effect. Let's go worldwide.
We ripple
Excellent.
right into gold mine too, to the masses. And we have such an amazing guest here today. We don't get to see her very much because her time is very valuable. She is stretching it throughout the masses, and she is here with us today. We know her as Aunt Sarah over on Clapper. We will include her links to her socials in the descriptions over on Facebook and YouTube, so you guys stay tuned for that. Also stick around for the mantra at the end. And like I said, I am excited to be here. So I'm just going to sit back and listen. We're going to talk about a couple things that happened over the weekend, and we're just going to go with it like we always do. What is up, Tina? Thank you for coming in. Bree, Louise, Big, American, Stacy, everybody, Ashley, Leanne, Shredda. There's so many people in the audiences. Thank you. Are tuning in from somewhere, just say hello. And if you're watching the replay, hello, Ben, please hashtag replay.
Yes, thank
We can upload to Instagram then, but we can't go live there and here at the same time on this platform.
you. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, on our individual sites, and then also the Grit and Glitter YouTube channel. That's the only thing that Grit and Glitter has right now. So please join us over
We have
there
our podcasts.
here.
We have our podcasts, but those aren't live.
They're not
They're
live.
recorded.
Yes,
They're
they
all
are
being recorded.
afterwards. Yep, they are loaded in afterwards. So yeah, we'll talk about a couple things that happened over the weekend, and then we have a couple little things from today. You can talk about the weekend stuff, and then we'll move right on in.
Everybody's working for the weekend. You guys, it is Thanksgiving week. There are so many things that are associated with that, but let's just focus on the one thing that it should be associated with, which is community and gratitude. Community and gratitude. Everything else falls to the side. Everything else means nothing. And I just want to say again, so grateful to be graced with your.
Uh-oh.
I'm also these awarenesses and these tools, like it just kind of falls in our lap and it is pretty insane. So over the weekend, Saturday brought us Family Volunteer Day. So you can make this up though. This was created by Points of Light back in 1990, and it's all about giving families a simple way to serve together and make kindness a tradition. I wonder why that would be this week. Who are we?
You
You go apply this. You could go and serve in your local soup kitchens or go out and have a neighbor. Like we had some neighbors down the street from us before that were elderly and in wheelchairs, bringing them meals. You know what I mean? Like there are things you can
yeah.
do to honor Family Volunteer Day, something you can do together.
Absolutely.
Also, Humane Society. I'm going to let you do this one, even though I'm a baby doggy person. I'm going to let you do this one.
Well, first off, I'm always behind. Something is going on with my stuff, and I can't
Oh,
keep
well,
up.
I got you. I got you. I got you then. I just didn't want to be like the only one talking. I'm like, God, just steal the show. Okay. I will. It was also Humane Society Anniversary Day, marking the founding of
We're having some technical difficulty. Jarita, if you can hear me,
and promoting treatments. Yes.
if you can hear me, we're having some technical difficulty on Restream. You're blanking out, like your screen is stopping, you're freezing, and we can't hear you at all.
Oh,
So
please.
we're gonna take 1 second, guys, and we're gonna just recoup, revamp, regroup. Oh, thank you, Ben, for saying that. Thanks for telling us that you watched the replay and all the wonderful things. Bear with us as we deal with this little technical issue. These are the types of things that we do, Sarah.
Oh yeah,
The
and you
things
handled it beautifully. Just
I,
keep going.
and we just respond to them. We just work with them as they go and just move on. So as she gets
What else
ready,
can you do?
she's probably she said, "Welcome back,
She's
Jarita."
sparkling. She's over there sparkling.
And you know what, Jarita, that gave me the second to find the little bit of information that we had on the
Woo!
Humane Society.
Let's.
So, the Humane Society anniversary date marking the founding of the Humane Society in 1954. This was an organization dedicated to protecting animals and promoting humane treatment. A perfect reminder that compassion extends to every living being, right?
And it
No
should.
matter
They have the same rights as us. They shouldn't have to walk around and get smacked around for no reason. You should extend those rights to all living creatures, not just dogs and cats and ferrets. All
That's right.
living creatures have the right to be here just like you do. Do not infiltrate their spaces. And you know what else? You know we have to have a delicious one, right?
Yes, yes.
National Cranberry Relish. Now, let me ask y'all something. Is there a difference between cranberry sauce and cranberry relish? Can you let me know in the comments? Because I'm confused. What's up,
Yeah.
Lou?
Let
Thanks for
us
joining
know
us over
because
on Facebook.
I feel like that would be a difference, right? Because cranberry
Yeah.
sauce is just like that liquidy gelatin, right? You
I
have
don't
a
know. My
say.
mom makes a very
Yeah.
hearty cranberry sauce.
I don't know. Anybody
Hmm.
in the comments, let us know. Sarah, what do you think? Do you know anything about?
Okay. Relish to me sounds like it's more chopped up, like a chutney or
Yeah.
something.
Seasoned.
Whereas a
Yep.
sauce is, again, more liquidy.
Yes.
That's what I go with.
I'm
I
looking
think
this
Then
up after the
how do you
live, and I will
classify the
let
stuff
y'all
out of the
know.
can? So
cranberry
what's in the
sauce.
can? Is that
Oh,
sauce?
anything
Yeah, it's
cranberry.
called sauce, but that's not the right thing.
Oh, look at here. Bree Talk
It's
says,
cranberry
yes,
gel.
I put a little bit of orange juice and zest in my cranberry relish.
So what's
That's,
difference between
I put
that and
that
the
in my
sauce,
salad.
Bree?
yeah. So is it chunky? Like you chop the cranberries up and then you
Oh,
do it that way, maybe?
Big, we weren't talking about pedos. Those aren't people. You misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Oh.
There are no rights. He said, I disagree. Pedos and ex predators lose that right when they commit the act. And I say they aren't even people or animals. So they have no rights.
Cranberries,
Moving along.
cranberries are cut up kind of mushy. It's almost like a paste rather than a gelatin, right? There we go.
Hmm.
All kinds.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Why do you have to introduce controversy right off the bat, Jarita?
We do it every day. I am, girl, I am Mile.
Oh,
When she asked me if I want to do this with her, because I've been talking about doing something, I'm always doing some little thing on here. And I was like,
Yeah.
girl, I'm kind of edgy. Are you sure you want to do this with me? You're all sweet. I am a psychopath.
she said, "Oh, there's just things you don't know, Jarita. There's just things you don't know.
But
I just don't share it on
still,
social media.
y'all, still.
I just so much show my sweet side here. How does that sound?"
Mm, yeah, you still sweet though. So
Oh
what is
man.
today about? Today's about some pretty cool stuff. And I really love this because I think of people with talents, and the first person that comes to my mind for me is my guy. He is so talented. Do you guys have a talent? What about you, Aunt Sarah? Do you have a talent or something crazy that you were gifted in? Like, if y'all go to my dude, his handle is toaster, like a toaster oven,
Uh-huh.
underscore SSO, and his content is amazing. He sucks. He's good at everything. Everything.
Hmm. I'm more a jack of all trades, master of none, I would
Yeah.
say.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
There you go. Yeah, I like that answer too. You know what? We do know a very talented person. We have a talented friend over here on Clapper, American. He does our music for
Hmm.
us as we get these podcasts ready and all of our videos and things like that. He has helped us so much, and he is very talented. Like the things
Agreed.
that he can come up with is amazing. The sounds that he puts with our stuff, and the way that he just puts it together just amazes me.
Like he'll
So
be like, when I would send it over, he'd be like, what kind of vibe do you want? And I'd be like, this is the vibe I want. And he would give me like three options. I've stepped more into the art part right now. If y'all know, I've been going back and forth to my mom's touch your tits and your bits, you guys. Again, that early detection can save your life, prolong it. There are so many complications right now with regards to cancer, and you just got to step up to the plate and do your thing. So I have a great tribe here that is doing that and helping me while we help ourselves, while we help you. So it does, and we'll always go back to the tribe being my strongest tool. We
yeah,
talk about it every day in here. So, and it's also gross day too today. I just want to say real quick that it is National Sardine Day, and I am not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan, but if you like sardines, drop some kind of emoji down there, a shrimp weird thing. I don't know if they have a crawfish or a lobster, but sardine is a weird looking creature. And don't get me wrong, I will eat a crawfish and suck its little brains out and all that, but this is on a different level. She's like,
They're just little fish. They're fish.
I
They're
am.
little fish.
are they
They're
good?
That's
high
right.
in omega fat, omega-3
That's right.
fatty
Ooh, and
acids.
that's
They're
good
one
for
of
your
the
brain.
smash fish. That's
Yeah,
right.
That's
Eat
good for
some
your
yeah.
sardines.
brain.
I grew up eating them.
She taught me
I'm
that.
from,
I want Sarah and I. Oh, that
all right,
free
so
falling. Sorry.
I told you we're like emptying out the place. So like I don't have a tripod. So my phone is sitting on top of Tupperware, on top of our bistro table from the balcony, on top of, I mean, it's just crazy. So if that, don't be surprised if that happens again, because I just banged into the bistro table.
That's
Oh,
okay.
so excited about sardines. I flip
Yeah,
over sardines.
I know. Yeah, I like sardines actually. I think they're
Yeah.
really good. I ate them a lot whenever I was younger. a
I'll just
lot.
Yeah,
might
we
have
grew
to
up eating
try
them
it or
on
something. I
saltine
don't know.
crackers.
It just seems gross to me, and I eat a lot of gross foods. Like I love raw oysters and all that, so I should probably just try it. But that does
And let
bring
me
us
just
into
say,
that sardines she mentioned. Have those
yeah.
good fatties, chains,
Hmm.
long chain fatty
Omega-3 fatty
acids,
acids.
and that brings us to what today's core speech is about, and why we have Aunt Sarah here in the first place. Today is
Right.
National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month, and this was established by President Ronald Reagan in 1983 to raise awareness, honor caregivers, and support families navigating this type of memory loss. So I'm going to shut my
Yeah.
mouth for a long time, and I'm just going to let you like say whatever you want to say. We have a couple little questions we're going to pick. We're not going to ask them all because we get to have you a couple more times. Stay tuned for that.
Mhm.
And and then I'll let Denise or she can go first or whatever, but I just want to hear from you and thank you again so much for being here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much
Thanks for
for
having
being
me.
here. If anybody doesn't know, this is Aunt Sarah. We met her through Clapper, and
Hmm.
she is an Alzheimer's advocate. She has been very much about that. So we are so excited to hear everything because you've learned so many things, right?
I
You've
actually
done so
Yeah.
met
much.
her because of this because I was scared and I reached out to her and
Mhm.
she did a 10-part segment for someone she barely even knew. So I'm very excited to hear from you. I love you so much, lady. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, love you too.
We're going to
Thank
give
you.
the mic to Aunt Sarah, and she's going to tell us all she wants to know. Guys, remember, ask your questions, get them ready.
Okay. And I'll do my best to answer them, or I'll write them down and post about them. But
Good.
again, thanks guys for having me. It's so good to see everybody. And I just want to start with a little bit about my story and how I got into talking about Alzheimer's. Um, I have one copy of the Alzheimer's gene. I found out about it when I did the 23andMe during COVID. And it just so happened that the neurologist that they had on 23andMe is one of the few preventive neurologists in the world. And he does a little message after you click through, yes, 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 I really want to know, I really want to know. No, I don't need a gene counselor. I want to know, I want to know. He's the guy who says, you got the gene, here's the deal. And so through him, I started learning that through, I'm not going to say precision medicine, but that as much as 50% or more of dementia cases can be prevented or at the very best, or at the very least, delayed, onset of the disease delayed through lifestyle changes, through taking care of your heart health, your metabolic health, all that kind of stuff. So it gave me hope because I thought, oh, I've got the gene, that's it. My mom has it, her brother had it. Um, I'm doomed. And his saying, first of all, his saying is, if you have a brain, you might get Alzheimer's. You know, you're at risk of getting Alzheimer's. And secondly, if you have this particular gene, he's like, fine, it increases your risk, but so does, you know, having the mom and all of that. And there are things that we can do. So and they've learned so much about this particular gene that they have very specific things. They know that it's related to poor lipid management. So I can't deal very well with saturated fats and cholesterol and all that. So, and I fought until I really wanted to make it to 65 before I was on any drugs. I made it to like 64 and 3/4 and had to get put on a statin, but it's the absolute lowest level. And it works fine, so I'm good in that department. There are some Alzheimer's genes that are what they call determinants, meaning if you have the gene, you are going to get the disease. And those are mostly early onset, like in your 40s and 50s, sadly, but thankfully they are very rare. And so my gene is more of the normal later onset.
Mm.
But calling it normal actually isn't right. Alzheimer's is not a normal part of aging, and that's what I posted about for Jarita early on. She was worried, you know, I keep forgetting where I put my keys. I walk into this room and, I don't know why I'm in that room. And that really is a natural part of aging and being stressed out and lack of focus. It's
Hmm.
kind of the difference is sort of like you walk into the kitchen and you don't know why you're there. That's normal. You walk into the kitchen and you don't know what that room is for. That's Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
You can't remember where your keys are. That's normal. Somebody else finds your keys in the medicine chest in the bathroom. That's not normal. I mean,
Right.
it's going to happen every once in a while, but that's, there is a difference between natural aging and Alzheimer's. But, it's not like we're just thrown out there and there's nothing we can do. There is, there's a medical journal called The Lancet. It's very famous, very well respected, and they have a commission on Alzheimer's. And about every 2 or 3 years, they update it and their report. And they've started naming the modifiable risk factors that you can work with. And they don't have them all done yet. They just added 2 more in the last one in 2024. There's now 14 of them. And I'll try to remember them, but it's like take care of your heart health, take care of your metabolic health, meaning your blood sugar and all that. Don't smoke. If you drink, either don't drink much or stop. High blood pressure, high cholesterol. Believe it or not, the last one they added is hearing loss. And it alone is like the largest percentage increase of your risk or of reducing your risk if you manage your hearing loss, which I think I'm going to have to go in for a hearing test. So don't ignore your hearing. I've been doing that. I've been in denial. Also, vision loss. So if you have cataracts, or as you get older, presbyopia, all that stuff, get your glasses, get your eyes checked. It wasn't a retinal tear, but it was a viscous sac or something in my eye that had kind of the same symptoms as retinal tear. Immediately went to the doctor and thankfully didn't need any treatment, but I just keep getting followed up. But there's like 14 of these, which they're all coming to my mind at this very moment. But there are a lot of things we can do. And I did, on a very kind of a side note here, want to add, I was very active on Clapper, and I came to Clapper to share my journey. Like I said, not a medical professional. I'm just sharing my journey of how I'm trying to prevent or delay onset of this disease. And I was very active and got lots of followers and all that kind of stuff, and then just kind of dropped out earlier this year. Mainly that is because I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and which is not related to my brain, other than everything is related to your brain. But I got the surgery. They removed the tumor. I didn't lose hardly any of the functioning kidney tissue. The surgeon said, "This is great. You're done. No further treatment. We'll see you in 3 months for your scan, and then after that, every few months for 5 years." I'm like, "Great." Um, so I'm a little bit of an introvert. Well, I'm a total introvert, really. And just going through this has driven me more inside of myself. And even though I kept making videos, I wasn't posting them because I wasn't ready to watch other people's videos or have people react to mine or whatever. I just kept getting tighter and tighter. And then today, well, actually, I went for the follow-up of my, like, I don't know, it's like 4 or 5 months after the surgery. And the doctor's like, "Oh, by the way, people with your pathology might want to get this thing called a ctDNA test. And it's a blood biopsy to see if you have additional tumors. Because when tumors die, they slough off their DNA and it shows up in your blood. This is super new technology." He's like, "You might want to do that. And yeah, you probably want to do immunology." And I'm like, "You didn't mention this in the past 6 months. All of a sudden, you want me to take immunotherapy." So I went to see an oncologist today thinking, okay, I'm just getting this test. And by the time I walked out the door, I had given 12 vials of blood, scheduled my first session of immunotherapy on Monday. I have not an emergency, but a CT scan of my chest, abdomen, and pelvis tomorrow morning. And I'm going to go through a whole year of immunotherapy. So in my case, it's just to prevent recurrence. It's not treating a tumor or anything, as far as we know. So if anybody out there has gone through Keytruda or other immunotherapies, please share that with me or with us, because I'm fairly anxious about it and just want to hear how it goes for other people. But, I'm going to do it, and I think I'm going to be okay. But that's just kind of where, between that and selling the condo in Miami that we inherited and moving to a house that we're renting over near Fort Myers, near Captain Joe and Carrie, it's just been hard to get on social media. So I'm hoping that being on this podcast and also this little brain health challenge that I just found out about, that's going to kickstart me to get back on social media. And should I go ahead and tell them about the challenge? Okay.
Absolutely.
So it is, again, that I've been following that same neurologist that was on 23andMe for several years now, and it's called the Holiday Habit Challenge. And each week for 6 weeks during the holidays, he's going to post on Monday a new challenge. And I thought, what is this going to be? He's going to tell me to eat more dark leafy greens. He's going to tell me to get off my ass and exercise, all the usual stuff that he will tell you to do. But he just posted right before I came on, this week's first challenge is he wants us to find some time, making time for a daily gratitude meditation. Now, who would have thought that's an Alzheimer's prevention brain health thing? But he pointed out, the holidays are stressful, lonely for some people, overwhelming, and stress is not good for your brain. Actually, rumination, where you think about and worry about the same thing over and over again. Hello. That and chronic stress actually shrink your brain. They accelerate brain aging. So anything we can do to reduce our stress is, how did he term it? He called it a brain protective source of stress management. Gratitude even activates your parasympathetic system, that calms your body. That's like, when you take a deep breath and then take an even longer exhale, that's engaging your parasympathetic system. And just do that breath thing. It's awesome. I do it all the time. But there's research supporting all this. This man, everything he does is evidence-based. It's not like he's, pie in the sky, whatever. He only recommends what actually has been proven to work. So he's wanting us to take 5 to 10 minutes a day, just close your eyes and focus on things that you're thankful for. Perfect for this week, of course, whether it's people, places, things, turkey, memories, whatever. And just as you close your eyes, you kind of shut out the rest of the world and just let that course through you, let that gratitude course through you. And that is a brain protective practice you can do to reduce your brain aging or slow your brain aging and reduce your risk of Alzheimer's. So I wish that were the only thing, but it's one thing of many, many, many things we can do. So I think Jarita and Denise are going to let me come back every Monday to see how everybody's doing with their
You have to
challenge.
pay us.
Okay. I will
There's
have
a hole.
gratitude. My
You know what
my
I just
payment
thought
is
of
my
when you said that
gratitude.
though? It's like unplugging your computer and plugging it back in. Yeah, it's still got to work again. But when you
Exactly.
unplug it, resets. And that makes sense to me because my mind gets jumbled up. And sometimes it makes me so tired, it does affect my vision. I get so
Oh yeah.
exhausted.
Oh yeah. And you can't focus on, you can't get one thing done. You're trying to multitask and do a million different things and you can't get anything done. And that
Yeah.
really, it's kind of
Um,
like saying it's the human equivalent of put your phone down,
yep.
It's like close your
Yeah.
eyes, put your mind down and just be thankful.
Absolutely. Now I don't know if I heard it or not. I may have not heard it. Was there a time on it? Did it say 10 minutes a
He
day?
says
Did it
5 to 10 minutes. So it's not like he
okay?
wants you to sit there for half an hour or 45 minutes, even five. If you can't do 5 minutes, do 1 minute. Just do something.
Just
And I
right.
think for me, that's the kind of thing where once I start doing it, I'll get caught up in it and I'll either fall asleep or I don't know, if you meditate, you do find that you find that your mind wanders. And part of your
Mhm.
meditation practice is being able to recognize that and bring your mind back. And so you can kind of try that as well during your 5 or 10 minutes of gratitude meditation.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to ask you a question before we move into any more of that. I want to ask you, what was it again that you said you're going through? What are you taking? Because if we can find someone that has been through this, we would love to have you on the podcast. So Aunt Sarah will get the
Yeah, that'd
information
be
she
great.
needs.
It's
Well, the
immune.
actual drug I'm doing, again, immunotherapy is not chemotherapy. It works
Mm-hmm.
with your immune system. It's not a drug that does whatever chemotherapy does.
Right.
Um, it's called Keytruda, Keytruda. And I know I've seen commercials
I've
for
seen
it,
on it
never
here in
paid
Yep.
India.
attention. But I
Yeah.
think it's one of them that they say like prolongs your life, like especially if you have like stage 4 lung cancer or something like that.
Okay.
But again, this is
Yeah.
just hopefully a low dose, I assume. Um,
Yeah.
this was a whirlwind. I mean, I seriously walked in thinking I was getting a blood draw and boom, come out with a year's
Yeah.
worth of treatments. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Keytruda, or there are other immunotherapies that are for different types of cancers or different, situations that you
Mhm.
have. So yeah, that would be great. I would love to hear.
Yeah, for
Got you.
sure.
We
So
got
if
you.
we know anyone, if there's anyone listening, please reach out to us and let us know if you've done any kind of immunotherapy, especially the Keytruda. So if you have, let us know. Reach out to one of our DMs. Let's get you on this podcast so we can get some information out there because I'm sure it's a fairly new treatment too. I know that been in the
Yeah, I
last few
think it
years.
is. Yeah.
And this is the
Um,
thing that's in so commonplace. 4 new people got in my DMs today talking about themselves or a loved one. Y'all don't understand. I talk to people, regular people and new people every day about cancer, and it is wild how many
Yeah.
people have it. Get yourself educated. Let's go. We're
Yeah. And
here.
and you were talking about advocating for yourself. I kind of let myself down, I think, in this process because I just took my the urologist did the surgery. And like
mhm.
I said, he just said, "You're fine, nothing." And then all of a sudden it's like you need this DNA test. And I don't, can you guys see that message that just came up on my screen? Yeah. Oh, shit.
Welcome to our
Hang on,
podcast.
coming
We
back.
can relate to
Back.
all of
All
this.
this, all,
I'm just going to
all of a
sit
sudden
back and
everything
let it
starts quiet.
happen. Let it happen.
That's okay.
Oh, it told me to like,
While we give Aunt Sarah a second to figure out her camera did go out on her really quick. Over here on the comments, Dorita, did you see Big Tank said he
Yes.
just talked to his mother and she's got her oncologist appointment December the 3rd.
So
I'm so glad
sad.
to hear that, Tank.
am I in the
So
right place
Yeah.
now? Okay.
You
yes, we can see your face. Um,
It's like I was trying to get rid of this message that said hand gestures, and I'm like, oh, must be doing too much of this.
That's so funny.
you know what? That is all part of our podcast. That's what we do every day.
Glad to contribute. I feel more a part of it now.
That's right.
But did you say Tank's mom? Tank's
Thanks,
mom has
Mom.
gone through
Yeah,
No,
immunotherapy?
she's
she is
about
now
to go see her oncologist on December 3rd.
oncologist. Yeah, on December
Now, my
3rd.
Okay.
mom's just starting therapy like that, so maybe you two can talk. She was just diagnosed with stage 4 terminal colon cancer. It spread to her lungs and all the places, so we're trying to kick its ass. And she's been getting tested
Yeah.
every year, just like me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So she
They
says
don't
that,
test
and
all
I
those
want to
different things.
petition this, and I'm going to announce it here. I'm going to, because it's my platform too. I want to find all the legal jargon. I need to figure out how to make a petition to the masses. I want to talk to the biggest creators. If you have friends that are big creators, whoever it is, all of you, everybody, A&N, I want to get everybody in on this. And I want to get a petition going because mammograms don't show it. All these things, you know what shows it though? PET scans. And if we advocate for those instead of going through 8 different scans to get to the PET scan, there's got to be a reason why we're not just going straight to the PET scan. That's
Yeah.
thousands of dollars, and I know that because I've been in a whirlwind. Exactly, but it can't be. It can't keep being about that. We have to
Yeah.
do something about this. We are more than them. We don't have to keep laying over for all this. And I say we stand up, we make a petition, and we go out here and we just keep going. There, y'all. I
Yeah.
promise, y'all can stay. I will donate some money if y'all need the extra at the hotel. You elite people, whatever we need to do to keep you elite satisfied, but keep us alive. Okay. And I really
Yeah.
want to petition for this. I think it is the most important thing with regards to cancer at this point in time because cancer is not going to go away. It's not
Yeah.
something you can cure because it mutates like a cold. I talked to my AI in great depth about this subject, you guys, and it's all about prevention. And if you see that stuff, you can prevent it. Just like if they would have stopped at the mammogram, we would have done a lumpectomy and been done. Then I would be back in there because I had 5 more precancerous cells in here that were not shown on a mammogram that would have shown up on a PET scan. And these are reasons why I think, and there are other scans too that you can advocate for, like for bones or whatnot. And I don't know
Hmm.
all of the legal jargon, which is why I'm bringing it up here. If somebody is smarter than me, wants to get in cahoots with me in this, I would love to do this because it affects everyone. Your chances of not getting cancer are absolutely lower than your chances of getting some form of cancer.
That's
Cancer.
right. I agree. I agree. Yeah. Um, and it's very important to like Sarah said, advocating for yourself.
Hmm.
If you're not sure, go to someone, ask them how to make it happen. Ask them how to get through those little
I'll be
hoops
standing
and
on somebody's desk like, how do I live? You must tell me. I will
yeah,
wash dishes up in this mofo. How do I live? That's what I said.
yeah.
That's what I said.
Well, hopefully now I'm getting the treatment that I need, but I just kind of, listened to the doctor and didn't do more homework or press the issue because it's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to
Right.
hear that I was done. I didn't want to do
All the
immunotherapy or
time.
chemotherapy, which they don't do
Yeah.
chemotherapy for kidney cancer anyway, but I just don't settle. Just dig a little deeper, talk to your AI, Google whoever, and
Yeah.
make sure you
Hospital
find out everything you
advocate.
can.
Hospital
Yeah.
advocates,
Patient. Yep.
anybody,
Yeah,
anybody that can
because I
help
will say
you.
when the only reason they thought they caught the kidney lesion was because you may remember back in January, I hurt my back when
Bring it
we were
back.
moving in here, and I was in the hospital for 5 days in pain. And the
Yep.
CT of my back showed the lesion on my kidney. And nobody really said anything about it. And finally, when I got around to establishing a new primary care physician down here, I kind of brought it up. And they're like, okay, well, we'll send you for a CT or whatever. And they called me the next day and said, we need to make an appointment for you to come in. I'm like, no, not tomorrow. I need to see you
I
today
want to
because
go
if it were,
now. Yep.
yeah, because if it were a clean scan,
You
or if
wouldn't have
it were
called
not
me.
cancer, you would have just called and said, all good. See you in 3 months or
Yep.
Not at
see you
all.
next year.
Yeah.
So I went the
Yep.
next day and I felt bad for those poor ladies. I don't think they'd ever had to tell anybody they had cancer before. And I asked my sister, who's in hospital administration, I'm like, why were they so weird about it? She's like, they're primary care people. They don't tell people they have cancer.
Right.
Specialists, like the urologist should tell you, or the oncologist should tell you, not your primary care physician. I'm like, oh,
My
well,
PCP told me as well, but that's because I know him personally.
yeah, yeah. I wasn't aware
Yeah.
of that. I figured they're the ones who get the, and then, uh, all right, I can go off on a whole thing,
No,
but
it's
that same,
cool. We're here
the
for it.
then
We
my,
get it. This is
then,
why we have this show.
so when I
That's
went,
right.
when I went to get, finally, I went to get the scan after the surgery and everything. And apparently the results came in. And so my primary care, which this office, I think it's a teaching office, there are like very young doctors in there. There's 12 different ones every time I go, you know. She
Hmm.
calls and she says, the radiologist looked at it and you probably need to come in for another MRI because there's a growth on your kidney and there's these lesions on your liver. So you need to contact your surgeon. I'm like, at 5:30 on a Friday night? Yeah, I don't think he's answering his phone, but thank you for
Probably
letting me
not.
Yeah.
freaking out all weekend long. Um,
Yeah.
which, as it turned out, the kidney was fine. The things on my liver, they had also seen way back in the day and kept saying it's no big deal, no big deal. But finally, I'm like, let's just confirm that they're no big deal. So I've been to a hepatologist and have an MRI of my liver coming up in a few weeks, but they're fairly convinced it's benign. But so my whole thing was just you would never get tested for kidney cancer. You will never get a screening
Right.
on test for kidney
Right.
cancer because until you are really super advanced, there's no symptoms.
Yep.
Hmm.
That's
I
how
mean,
my mom's was too.
I never had any pain, no symptoms, no nothing. So kidney cancer, more than 50% of the cases are found through incidental findings where they're looking for something else. So, and if you get those
Well, and that's
incidental
what,
findings, don't let it
yeah.
go.
This is what I'm
Ask
talking
about
about. Why
everything.
aren't we being scanned? Why are we paying all this insurance and our body's not being really scanned for what it needs?
Yeah.
Girl,
Well, we were talking
I'm on
about that with
Medicare
cancer
now. Mm,
today. It's not easily seen.
Yeah, but
no.
it is if you have these scans. If you're
Yeah.
having these scans, these
Yeah.
body scans, these CT scans, these PET
Yeah.
scans, it is
But the,
ultrasounds and those things. And I get
yeah.
it; those things are really expensive. But if
Well, there's
you're
a big,
having everybody come in and do it, that would seem like it'd pay for it.
it seems like, but there's this whole new business now of offering full body MRIs. MRIs, right? Not CTs, full body MRIs. And yeah, it's going to find some things that you need to take care of, but it's going to send you down so many rabbit holes of almost every organ can have these little
A blip
nodules
on
and things
it.
that aren't anything. But
Yep.
I,
Yep.
I don't think that the technology is there yet for them to be sophisticated enough to know what's worth pursuing. So you really have to go into
Right.
those things Kind of like I did with the
That's why I
Alzheimer's
said
kid
would
thing.
I
Yes,
would
yes,
need
yes. I want
someone
to know.
smarter than me to know why this isn't a thing. You know,
Yeah.
I like Stacy, I'm over here, because it's not profitable, but I mean, is there a real reason? Like maybe it's bad for you to have that many scans on your body. Maybe it's dangerous for you. Maybe, I don't know.
There's
So I'd
combination.
like to find out why, just like for me, they said we're gonna have this, and then a month later, after they busted it open and it's going through my body, they're like, oh, by the way, we didn't catch this on your ultrasound, but and nobody said anything, but these are precancerous cells, and it changed everything about what I did. Instead of having a lumpectomy, I had a double mastectomy, y'all. I mean, that would have been radiation or chemo had I not have chosen that. Like, there are choices that you have to make, and then if that stuff is spread, you still have to have chemo and stuff anyway. And it's just the ball being dropped on stuff like that because of the money is insane. And I thought people got into healthcare to help people, so I don't know what we have to do to reform those things, but I feel like,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say this too, that a lot of stuff is washed through our medical, and that just needs to stop. Again, there's plenty of monies, plenty of monies.
I mean, we spend more in healthcare than per capita than any other country in the world, and we don't necessarily have the best health. Even
No,
though
we
we have the
don't.
best
We
healthcare
we don't
system,
have the best
we're not the healthiest
ingredients.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on ultra processed food.
Girl, that's
Yeah.
what, okay.
Bad for your brain.
Anyhow, hey, can you tell
Bad for your brain.
everybody that might not know, that maybe kind of thinks they know what Alzheimer's is, but kind of what it is?
Okay. Dementia is kind of this overall term for different types of neurodegenerative diseases. There's Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Lewy body, frontotemporal dementia, like Bruce Willis has, and several more, but the bulk of it is Alzheimer's. And they really don't know exactly what causes it, but they do know that it's, I can't remember the term, it's like multimodal, multi-pathology, because it's not just you ate too much saturated fat, you didn't get enough
Right.
exercise, you have high
You
blood pressure.
smoked. Right.
And
Yeah.
also, a lot of people have heard of like amyloid plaques and tau tangles that start collecting in your brain. And for the longest time, I mean, billions of dollars of research was put into the amyloid plaques and how to either prevent them or remove them. And like the most recent Alzheimer's drug that was released was lecanemab, and it's for people in the early stages, and it removes the plaques, but it's got major side effects
Right. I
like brain
bet.
bleeding.
Yeah, can you
It's
imagine you're
it's like
trying to get that? You're targeting
yeah, it's
everything
like
around it.
chunking
Yeah,
plaque, and then that gets into your system, and it's like almost $100,000 a year. It does slow the progression of the disease, but it doesn't stop it, and nothing
Yeah.
cures it. I mean, once your neurons are dead, they're
right.
dead.
Yeah.
So that's why prevention is so important. But like the modifiable risk factors that I started mentioning earlier,
Hmm.
those things we can all have agency, we can all make decisions about. And there's like different ways to like, but I think some of the first signs, there's another preventive neurologist that I follow, a young woman who was like the first ever, I can't remember, but she's just fabulous. She's focuses mostly on Parkinson's, but she talks a lot about Alzheimer's as well. And she was saying that one of the first signs, you always think of like short-term memory things, and like, you're sitting next to somebody at dinner, and Aunt Sally asks you the same question 5 times in a row and has no idea that she's asked you the same thing. That's definitely an indicator. But also a change in personality, which can be a lot of diseases. But in Alzheimer's, she was describing a woman who said that her mom, who had always just been the kindest, sweetest woman, all of a sudden was getting short with people and holding grudges and getting angry and just was not her at all. And so they took her in for some cognitive assessment, and sure enough, she's got the early symptoms of Alzheimer's. So, but there is
That's
no cure. And if you hear somebody say they reversed Alzheimer's or cured Alzheimer's, even if they are medical doctors, neurologists, nutritionists, whatever, sorry, it's not possible yet. They may slow progression, and they may delay, and they may prevent, but you can't Once it's broke, you can't fix it.
Yeah, like
And
you
there are
just said,
great,
once it's dead, you can't bring it back to life. That's not a
right, right,
technology we grasp here. We wouldn't have death.
yeah,
Right.
We
Yeah.
would
exactly,
have death,
So,
exactly.
period. If we could reverse
so
that.
Sarah, some of the things that you've been talking about, like you've been talking about all of these things like that. And, but I know that you've talked a lot about foods that you can eat to help.
Mhm.
Why don't you tell us about a few of those things?
Well, I kind of was joking about dark leafy greens, but dark leafy greens are no joke. Um, I think at Rush University, they did a study that showed like people who ate like 2 servings of dark leafy greens a day, like reduced their brain aging by like 11% or whatever,
Mhm.
and or their risk of dementia by 11%. I mean, okay, that's easy enough. So if you don't like kale, eat spinach, eat what are the dark leafy greens?
I
Spinach and
love
kale are
all
my
of that.
go-tos.
Give me all that
Oh,
collard
chard, Swiss
greens.
chard, all that kind of stuff. Bok choy is
Collards,
actually really
turnips,
good. Bok choy is
yeah, all that
good, and
kind of
turnip
stuff.
greens, all that stuff is really good. Um,
Yeah.
but so uh, high fiber, like beans are really good for you. Um,
Hmm.
it took me a long time I mean, I've always loved beans. I grew up poor in the South, so beans were dinner a lot of times.
Beans
So
and
yeah,
Yeah.
and
cornbread.
I still love them. And you got, yeah, of course,
Me
mine were
too.
cooked with like bacon fat, a little fat back
Same.
in there, and with cornbread with butter on it. You need to go easy on saturated fat, especially if you have the gene like I do, because again, I don't process it well. Um, so easy on saturated fats, easy on processed foods, ultra processed foods, because like there's processed foods that are fine. Like milk is processed, and
Right.
pretty much everything
Cheese.
you eat is processed. Beans, when you cook them, that's processed. But ultra
Right.
processed is when you start getting these unidentifiable things that like you wouldn't keep
I
these
think it's
ingredients
great.
in your kitchen cabinets.
Hmm.
You couldn't recreate Pringles at home. And actually,
Right.
if I can remember the story on Pringles, at one time, Pringles sued the British government saying that there was not enough potato in a Pringle for it to qualify for this tax that went on to crisps, as they call them, the potato chips in England. So even they were saying there's not enough potatoes in here to really be a potato chip. So we're not going to have to pay this special tax that you have to pay on regular potato chips in England. So I mean, that just tells you
Yeah.
what you're eating, and you see so many. I saw a box of cereal called Smart Choice and has all these health halo kind of words all over the box. But if you look at it,
Mhm.
it's not, it's made with refined wheats, it's full of sugar and other things that you can't identify. And everything has protein in it now. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
you can
for
get
sure.
protein broccoli. No, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So we actually have a question over here, and it's what about honey? What do you think about honey and
I think
preventing?
honey kind of goes into the whole category of just watching how much sugar you eat overall, whether it's natural, like honey or refined or whatever. I'd rather eat honey or agave or something like that, but that's just a personal preference. But my favorite neurologist, Dr. Richard Isaacson, um, he says if you want to push the fast forward button on Alzheimer's, eat a lot of sugar. So I just try to be sensible about how much sugar that I eat. I think any kind you want. Again, I'm not a medical professional.
Yeah.
As long as your blood sugar, you're not insulin resistant. I think honey's fine.
Yeah.
Just not a
Yeah.
lot of
And I
it.
mean, they're serving sizes for a reason, right?
Hmm.
We have serving sizes for a reason, so stay within the serving sizes meant for your body. Rachel over here on Facebook, she said she has gallbladder issues and can't really do a lot of green leafy anymore because of her gallbladder. So,
That's interesting. I thought gallbladders
yeah,
you couldn't handle fatty stuff
greasy
anymore, right?
foods, fatty foods.
Yeah. Huh.
My mom
Well,
can't have that either right now with because she had an ileostomy because of the cancer.
mhm.
She can't have leafy foods either. So it
Could
must
she
be
do anything?
something.
Is it a fiber issue or is it
I'm not
a
sure.
nutrient that's in
I'm
there
not
or
sure
minerals?
why
Like,
she can't have it, but she cannot. Well, I
yeah,
think it has to do with the digestion because when you have a bag like that, of course, your bowels have been removed from your
yeah.
body to the outside through your stomach, you guys. And it is a huge deal. So again, prevention may sound scary, but that sounds scarier to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So
Yeah, so
I'm not sure what
we're
to say
hanging out
about that
here.
because I'm not.
Oh, she did. Can you see her comments?
Who's
No.
Can you see the comments? So if you look over to the side of your screen, it'll say chat. If you click on that, it'll show you the comments that we're getting. And if you're on a small device, it may not be easy to see.
Let's see.
So
Oh, there it
to
is.
one side or other of your screen. So Rachel said, well, it's about to come out. Not sure if I'll be able to come back eating it. So
Hmm.
I had to plug y'all in over on Clapper. I apologize. So
yeah,
they're
Okay.
all in
so
a weird position now.
Oh, here we go.
Dr. Why,
Okay.
by any chance of why leafy greens are, I'm sure that we could find stuff about that,
I
but
bet I can
it's
Yeah.
ask her
causing,
doctor or her about it now.
it causes its roughage. It's hard on the digestive system, and I have the same issue sometimes.
Yeah. Fiber. Yeah. Well, you also, I mean, everybody's got one thing that I started to say earlier was this neurologist, and it's not just him, but medicine in general is kind of heading towards precision medicine, where they don't just say, "Oh, you've got this condition, so X, Y, Z." It's like they're going to do the test that Jarita's talking about, and you need to up your B vitamins, and we need to give you this, pharmaceutical, and you need to do X, Y, and Z, and you need to do A, B, C. So it's different. He said in the case of Alzheimer's, he's like, you see one Alzheimer's patient, you've seen one Alzheimer's patient. Don't think you've seen them all. It's all different.
Yeah,
Um, so I think, talk to your doctor if, and hopefully they're going to let you have high fiber stuff or fiber rich foods after the surgery. Oh, and then
Yeah,
imagine
things
getting it
go
taken
different.
out.
She said after it's redirected because after they remove the tumor and they do the chemo, when they're successful, they will reroute the bowels and she should be okay to go again. But again, you've got to be
I'm sure it'll
watching what
be,
your
she'll
intake
probably have
is.
hopefully
yeah,
there's a dietitian that's going to give her step-by-step process of how to
yeah,
reintroduce everything.
yeah.
They want her to do a lot of
Um,
juicing right now. I know that. A lot of juicing.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess because that takes the fiber out.
Hmm.
Juicing takes the fiber out and
And it takes
leaves the
all that
sugars.
extra effort for her digestive system
Yeah.
too, right? It's
Hmm.
if it's already juiced, then it's going to go through your digestive system a lot smoother
It's so
than
hard,
anything.
y'all. It's so
Like
hard to watch
they-
that. It's so sad.
yeah.
So that, I mean, let me tell you, when I got I put off getting my first colonoscopy. You're supposed to, I think they changed the age to 45 because more and more really young people are getting colon cancer, like in their 20s and 30s, and they're not sure if it's because of the ultra processed food. Is it because of exposure to toxins in the environment? Is it sedentary lifestyle? Is it a combination of those things? It's like all these big diseases are kind of the same. There's not one thing that causes them.
Mhm.
And Alzheimer's, if you think about that, like colon cancer did not happen overnight. And heart attacks don't happen overnight. That plaque is building up
Right.
in your
Yep.
in your vascular system over years. And that's the same with Alzheimer's. People think of it as an old person's disease, and truly, symptoms really start showing at age 65 and older for regular Alzheimer's. But it's
Yeah.
been building up for
I
decades.
was gonna say that seems to be
And
getting younger and younger, man. When it starts, just like cancer, breast cancer used to be an old
mhm.
person's thing too. Now, I was not the youngest person in my areas.
Oh no, oh
Crazy,
no,
crazy young people.
yeah. So it's and what I'm finding is whether it's Alzheimer's or heart disease or diabetes or whatever, it's almost for the most part a lot of the same recommendations. Exercise, eat a Mediterranean, I won't say diet, but dietary pattern.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't mean you have to eat olives and feta cheese. It
Right.
just means eat lots of vegetables, a little bit of animal products, whole grains, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
Um,
people get that a negative thought when I'm glad you said it that way, a dietary
Right. That
pattern.
makes
It's a
sound like you're
pattern.
taking away
If you
nutrients.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
diet, a lot of people look at diet and they're like, "Oh, well, I have to just, and they see it as a negative thing." So I'm glad you said it that way. So sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt.
it's
Go ahead.
no, that's it. I mean, people do think of it. They hear the word diet, and not only do they think of it as negative, they think of it as temporary.
Hmm.
I'm going to do it until I fit into that
Oh,
dress I want to
right,
wear to the
right.
party,
Exactly.
which I'm guilty of. I just did, but I didn't lose the weight. I just went to the party as was. I didn't care. Um, I was just an ancillary relative at that wedding, so I didn't really care. Um, but what was I going to say? Oh, but it should be a pattern that you eat the rest of your life, which this is what I struggle the most with is I need to get back with
Lifestyle.
Denise and start my exercises that I need to be doing, cardio, resistance, and hit high intensity interval training. I need to be
Yep.
doing all three of those forever. I
Mm.
need to eat berries and the smash fish, which are the ones that have the highest omega-3 fatty acids and the least amount of mercury and other toxins. And let's see if I can remember smash fish.
Yeah, what's that?
Salmon, salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring.
Sardines.
You're
Did you
right.
read it right there? Sardines.
Mackerel. Put them on a cracker. They're delicious.
Do them just like you would an oyster. Throw them suckers on a cracker and suck them
Do
things
they
down.
Yeah,
taste like oysters
yeah.
though? If they taste like oysters, I will eat them in droves.
But
They
you
do not
know,
taste like oysters.
sardines,
Like
They're
cotton
sardines,
oily,
mouth?
oily fish.
yeah, they are oily fish.
Oily
But you can get
bubble.
them packed with like hot peppers and stuff. So if you like
Ew.
hot food.
No, I'm
Mustard,
good. That sounds terrible for my
mustard.
colon.
Hmm.
Terrible.
But of course, that threw me off my track. What was I talking about? Eat berries, blueberries, raspberry. Raspberries are not only are they full of like the phytosterols, like really colorful. You do want to eat the rainbow. The colorful foods represent
Yep.
the most nutrients. And raspberries also are like super high fiber, which I only
Love
recently learned.
raspberries.
I didn't know that. And frozen is as good as fresh.
Right.
Um, and as far as like if beans, I try to get the cans of low salt or no salt beans and rinse those really well before I eat them. Um, so what did I say? Fatty fish, berries, leafy greens,
What
beans,
about
greens. Oh,
dairy?
nuts,
Should
nuts
be
and seeds.
is
Nuts and
dairy
seeds.
a bad thing?
Dairy is a very complicated topic because it's
Dairy
so
is
many
my
different
favorite. Like I
things.
could just live on milk alone.
I could live on
Well,
cheese.
there's a lot of conflict, right? A
Hmm.
lot. There's some that
Very
say dairy
controversial.
you need to do. Look, there's controversial, Jarita. This should be happy
Unbelievable.
for you, right?
I am. Bring on the controversy. You know me. I like starch.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of discussion on dairy, though. Like
Yeah.
there's some that say dairy is good for you, and there's some that say absolutely no dairy. I think it's just it's the person's body because we're all different, right? Some
Hmm.
bodies we treat dairy in a different way,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people that really like dairy, so they overdo the dairy, so that becomes a negative thing, right?
Give me
So I
all the
think
dairy.
Yeah.
that's where it becomes iffy.
So
Eat that in moderation.
there's different types of dairy. So there's milk, and then there's like fermented dairy, like yogurt and
Mhm.
kefir and all that stuff. And fermented foods are really, really good for you. So if you eat real, uh, God,
Like blue
I can't
cheese.
think of anything.
Would blue cheese
Kim,
be
kim,
considered fermented?
Kimchi.
kimchi, sauerkraut, that kind of stuff. Truly fermented pickles, not like that have to be kept refrigerated, that kind of pickle.
Yep.
And you get them from the refrigerated case, not from the shelf. I don't think blue cheese is
Clausen.
considered
Yummy. We
fermented.
love Clausen.
Yeah, the crunch.
Yeah.
Um, but the
I
thing
am
with
so
cheese,
hungry right now. Y'all are killing me right now.
but there's
God
this
dang it.
ongoing thing with dairy because there's so many types of dairy, and
Yeah,
so it
there are.
comes down to saturated fat, unsaturated fat, comes down to fermented, unfermented, and it kind of I, so much science changes every day, like eggs.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Are
my
they
take
good
on
right now or
eggs,
not good? Are eggs good for you right now?
well, I think they're good for you. They kind of go
That's
back and
right.
forth being of whether or not we should worry about dietary cholesterol. And for the longest time, they decided you don't have to worry about dietary cholesterol. Saturated fat increases your blood cholesterol, but eating dietary cholesterol is not a problem. Well, they kind of backed off on that, and they're back to eggs are good, a good source of protein, although there's only like 7 grams of protein in an egg. And if you're trying to get 20 or 30 grams of protein at a meal, you really don't want to eat that many eggs because you're starting to stack up all the cholesterol that can drive your blood cholesterol up. And again, back
Yep.
with my gene, I really do limit my eggs, to no more than two at a time, and then maybe only once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Same with lean. And if you're eating, there's, I was just about to watch a thing on from my favorite neurologist about do I need to be vegan or vegetarian? I think his answer is going to be no, but he's going to say limit the fatty meats and
Mm-hmm.
definitely cut out processed meats.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, charcuterie trays for the holidays. Try to go easy on those, if at all.
Yep.
Eat the garnishes like the olives, but then you get into the
And
sodium,
the
so
cheese.
and the cheese. But the last I heard on cheese was, yeah, it can actually be good for you because it's a different type of saturated fat. But they're talking about like a 1 ounce serving. I'm like,
Yep.
who eats 1 ounce serving of cheese? I mean, that
Yeah.
might be one slice on your
100
sandwich.
ounce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Higher than giraffe.
I know. But other good things are seeds and nuts. Like
Yep.
walnuts are really, really good. Pumpkin seeds, um, flax, chia, all that kind of stuff. And I
Ooh, I've been
know,
putting chia seeds in my tea.
yeah, have you ever tried chia pudding? It's really easy
No.
to make because chia is a natural, I guess it's pectin in it that gels up. So you just kind of mix it with a little milk and some yogurt and berries and sweeten it if you need. And it,
Uh-huh.
it just, they say leave it overnight, but I don't think it takes that
Mm-hmm.
long.
I want
But
that
No,
right now.
I know. And all this stuff, I remember several years ago, I had heard, my family has a history of heart disease along with brain degeneration. And so I looked into like the DASH diet. I don't know if you're familiar with that from, I can't remember his name, what the doctor's name is. Anyway, it's the dietary approach to stopping hypertension. So
Mm.
DASH. And it is like, I think it's a pretty low fat, not quite vegan, but almost diet. And when I first learned about that, I'm like, there's no freaking way I'm ever going to be able to eat like that. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, that sounds delicious. I'm going to have to try that. Your mind changes. And once you start eating this way, once you start eating more veg, more fruit,
I know I
more
can't
whole
hardly eat
grains,
bullshit like we did earlier. I can't hardly do it.
I know.
My
I know.
body
And
doesn't
like,
want it anymore at all.
it is, I mean, I've been traveling a lot lately, mostly by car. Um, but it's so hard to eat healthfully, especially like at airports. It is just garbage, that walls of garbage for you to choose from. But I will say, we did go to a wedding, that wedding I went to and didn't lose weight for. That was in Napa, so we flew through San Francisco. The best airport food I've ever seen. I mean, there were so
Really?
many choices. They weren't perfect, but there's so many fresh options and non-fried, not batter fried, not burgers, with, a ton of mayonnaise and all that kind of stuff. So some places are making the changes. I feel like I'm been all over the place here. I'm thinking about BBGs. BBGs.
Brats. Probably not.
Beans, beans, no brats.
What's up, silver
But yeah,
fox? What's up,
but
everybody?
I think even, I mean, for processed meats, like the World Health Organization pretty much has that as like a level 1 carcinogen. So, and supposedly grilling it creates, those crunchy black things when you grill things. Those are
The
called, I
good
think they're called
things.
glycated end products, the delicious little crunchy things. Those are bad for you too.
Great. I'm
Yeah, so it's
assuming they
like,
are because they're
so
delicious.
I just find you can get overwhelmed, but don't let that defeat you.
Yeah.
Just, I guess, like the gratitude practice, close your eyes, be thankful for carrots and grilled chicken and kale and delicious
Okay.
oranges and bananas and strawberries and berries and walnuts and just relax. And you cannot shoot for perfection. If you try to eat perfectly or do anything perfectly, exercise, all those other things, you're setting yourself up for failure and it's going to give you the excuse to not do
Yeah.
the thing, whatever that thing is.
And you're saying you're
So,
going to be with us next Monday and the next and the next?
so you'll do this through the end of the year, right?
Yeah, through the end of the year, I'll come back with Dr. Isaacson's
Suggestions.
challenge.
New month.
So this week's challenge again is 5 to 10 minutes. Just close your eyes and focus on what you're thankful for. And if you lose your focus, recognize that, acknowledge it, and come back to your focus. And
Nice.
hopefully you'll get used to do it and
Um,
start feeling it.
this is great. This has been an
Yes,
awesome,
thank you so much.
perfect thing for you to do with us today,
Uh,
because I know that we've been reaching out with you and we've been trying to get it all set up. So I'm so glad that we were able to make this work. Guys, if you guys have any questions for Aunt Sarah, right now is the time. So if y'all have questions, throw them in the comments. If you have anything to ask about Alzheimer's awareness, she will see the ones that come in on Facebook and YouTube. But if there are any that come in through Clapper, we'll make sure to address those.
And if you guys think
Um,
of something during the week, write it down so you can bring it next week. Be awesome. Make sure
yeah,
to set your
absolutely.
notification up. We are live Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central. Monday through Friday.
That's right.
And we
and
will be
I'll try to be a
uploading.
little more structured next time.
No, hey,
No
This
guys,
is
what do
this
freeform.
you
is a
want
good structure. I think it was perfect. And then whoever didn't can keep scrolling. But we will be also uploading and doing 2 shows on Wednesday. If you guys want to hang out, we'd love to see y'all for our pre-recorded Thanksgiving live that we're going to upload after we do Wednesday's edition. So we can be with our families. I know that my day is probably going to be ultra insane. So stay tuned for all that. And also today, in honor of the challenge, for the mantra, we want you guys to stick around and I want you guys to literally just stop what you're doing. I'm going to as well. The whole mantra and the ad at the end. And we're just going to literally breathe in for 4, in, hold it for 4, and then exhale 6. And that's how we're going to go through this mantra. I love you guys. If you aren't having the best day, I want you to go create it. And I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m.
That's right. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being with us. Is there anything that you would like to say last before we go?
I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for the people that are here, and I'm thankful that there are things we can do to keep our brains healthy.
Absolutely. Guys, this is your journey. You need to embrace it, but you never, ever, ever have to do it alone. You can always
Never alone. Doo-doo-doo.
Treat your mind with gentleness. It holds whole galaxies inside. Let your gifts grow like seeds, steady and brave, even in unseen places. Remember that your worth isn't measured by what you do, but by who you choose to be when the world grows quiet. And through it all, know this: even when memories shift or seasons change, love always remains steady and sure.
From limitations to liberation, we are a warrior's journey. Different battles,